Alex Rodriguez stared at the screen in front of him. The numbers made no sense. He rubbed his eyes and looked again. The same readings appeared on the monitor. Something big was coming toward their solar system. Very big. The monitoring station. Cerberus floated in the cold darkness beyond Pluto. Alex had worked here for 3 years. He knew every rock and piece of space dust in this area. These readings showed something new, something that should not be there. "Lisa, come look at this," Alex called to his partner. Dr. Lisa Cameron pushed herself away from her own workstation and floated over to Alex's position. The artificial gravity in this section had broken down last month. They were still waiting. For repair parts, Lisa looked at the screen. Her face went pale. "Run the scan again?" she said. Her voice was quiet but firm. Alex pressed the buttons to start a new scan. The computer hummed as it worked. The same results appeared. 12 massive objects were slowing down as they approached the solar system. Each object was huge. The computer estimated they were the size of large cities. "How fast are they moving?" Lisa asked. Alex checked the data. They were going close to light speed. Now they are slowing down. They will reach Earth in about 6 months. Lisa grabbed the communication device. She had to report this to Earth Command immediately. This was not a drill. This was not a mistake. Something was coming to visit humanity, and it was coming fast. The message traveled through space at light speed. It would take hours to reach Earth. Alex and Lisa began running more tests. They needed to gather as much information as possible about these objects. Captain Jake Morrison was eating lunch aboard the New Frontier when the emergency message arrived. His ship was near Jupiter, conducting routine surveys of the gas giants' moons. The message made him stop eating. "All hands to battle stations," Jake announced over the ship's communication system. This is not a drill. His crew moved quickly to their positions. Engineer Katie Brooks secured the engine room. Tactical Officer Ryan Collins powered up the weapons systems. The New Frontier was not a warship, but it carried enough firepower to defend itself. Jake read the message again. 12 unknown objects approaching Earth. Orders were to investigate and report back. The New Frontier was the closest human ship to the incoming objects. "Katie, how long to intercept course?" Jake asked. 2 days at maximum burn," Katie replied from the engine room. "Do it, Ryan. Prepare long-range sensors. I want to know everything about these objects before we get close." The New Frontier turned and began accelerating toward the unknown objects. Jake felt the familiar pressure as the ship's engines pushed them forward. He had been in space for 15 years. He had never seen anything like this. On Earth, Admiral Helen Garcia received the report from Cerberus Station. She immediately called an emergency meeting of the Solar Defense Council. Representatives from Mars, Luna, and the outer colonies joined the meeting by video link. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a situation," Admiral Garcia began. She displayed the sensor data on the main screen. 12 objects, each approximately 10 kilometers long, approaching our solar system. They will arrive in 6 months. Intelligence. Analyst Danny Foster raised his hand. "Admiral, I have been running projections based on the available data. These objects show no signs of natural origin. They are artificial. They are ships." The room fell silent. Danny continued his briefing. "Based on their size and approach vector, these ships could carry enough firepower to destroy our entire civilization. We must assume hostile intent." President Claire Johnson joined the meeting by secure video link from Washington. Her face appeared on the main screen. "Admiral Garcia, what are our options?" "We have 3 choices, Madam President," Admiral Garcia replied. "We can try to communicate with them. We can prepare our defenses and wait. Or we can strike first while they are still far from Earth." President Johnson was quiet for a long moment. She understood the weight of this decision. Humanity had never encountered aliens before. This first contact would determine the future of the human race. "What does our military assessment show?" she asked. General Tim Washington stepped forward. "Madam President, if these aliens are hostile and reach Earth orbit, we cannot stop them. Our best chance is to hit them while they are still approaching. before they can establish a defensive position around our planet. President Johnson made her decision. Authorization granted for Operation Last Stand. Prepare everything we have. If they come in peace, we will welcome them. If they come to destroy us, we will destroy them first. The meeting ended. Orders went out across the solar system. Hidden bases began preparing weapons that the public knew nothing about. Ships that officially did not exist began moving into position. Far from Earth, the alien fleet continued its approach. War Commander Zeth Kara reviewed the intelligence reports about the third planet. The scouts had determined that this species was primitive. They used chemical rockets and simple nuclear weapons. They would be easy to conquer, the hegemony had conquered 47 worlds using the same method. Arrive with overwhelming force, destroy all resistance, claim the planet's resources. This world would be no different. Zeth Kara looked at the tactical display. His 12 ships carried enough firepower to turn the planet's surface into molten rock. The primitives would surrender quickly once they saw the power of the hegemony. He had no idea that the primitives were already preparing to fight back. Dr. Ben Parker ran through the corridors of Luna Research Facility. The emergency alert had woken him from sleep 3 hours ago. Now he was rushing to the secret levels deep beneath the moon's surface. Few people knew these levels existed. The elevator descended for 2 full minutes. When the doors opened, Ben stepped into humanity's most closely guarded secret. The underground facility stretched for miles in every direction. Thousands of scientists and engineers worked here on projects that could never be revealed to the public. Status report, Ben called to his team leader, Dr. Sarah Kelly. We have 6 months to prepare everything, Sarah replied. The antimatter production lines are already running at full capacity. Europa Station is sending their entire stockpile. Ben nodded. For 20 years, humanity had been secretly developing weapons of incredible power. The antimatter facilities. On Europa, Jupiter's moon had been producing fuel for weapons that could destroy entire cities. The public believed Europa was just a research station studying alien life in the moon's ocean. Commander Sophie Martinez stood in the briefing room of her ship, the Shadow Strike. Around her, 50 other ship commanders listened as she explained their mission. These ships did not appear on any official records. They had been built in secret shipyards hidden throughout the asteroid belt. Our cloaking technology makes us invisible to all known sensors, Sophie explained. We have been testing it for 5 years. The enemy will not see us coming until we are right on top of them. The cloaking technology bent light and radio waves around the ships. It also masked their heat signatures and gravitational effects. Each ship was a ghost that could strike without warning. Captain Jerry Lewis commanded one of the stealth ships. His vessel, the Trojan Horse, was disguised to look like a simple cargo hauler. Hidden beneath its outer hull were weapons powerful, enough to crack a moon in half. Remember, Sophie continued, we attack as one. Wait for my signal, hit them hard and fast. Give them no time to react or call for help. The stealth fleet began moving toward the outer system. They would be in position when the alien ships arrived. The enemy would walk into a trap 50 ships deep. On the asteroid series, General Tim Washington watched as the final railgun was installed. The massive weapon was built inside a hollowed-out asteroid. From the outside, it looked like any other space rock. Inside, it held a gun that could fire projectiles at 15% of light speed. How many rounds do we have? Tim asked the weapons officer. 500 per gun, sir. Each projectile weighs 10 tons and carries a nuclear warhead. Tim smiled grimly. The aliens would not expect kinetic weapons. Their shields were designed to stop energy beams and missiles. A chunk of metal, moving at 45,000 kilometers per second, would punch through their defenses like paper. Similar railguns had been hidden throughout the asteroid belt. Each one was aimed at the approach route the alien ships would take. The aliens would fly into a crossfire that would tear them. FART Dr. Rachel Stone worked in the most dangerous section of the facility. She was responsible for humanity's most terrible weapon. The nanomachine swarms had taken 15 years to develop. Each machine was smaller than a virus but could replicate itself using any available material. "Are the control protocols secure?" asked her assistant, Dr. Paul Martinez. "Triple encrypted and hardwired," Rachel replied. "The swarms will only target alien technology. They are programmed to self-destruct if they encounter human DNA or technology signatures. The nanomachines could consume an entire spaceship in hours. They would eat through the hull, the engines, the weapons, everything. As they consumed the ship, they would make copies of themselves. One swarm could become 1,000,000 swarms in a matter of hours." Rachel sealed the containers holding the nanomachinous swarms. Each container was no bigger than a coffee cup, but held billions of the tiny machines. They would be loaded onto missiles and fired at the alien ships. Once they made contact, nothing could stop them. Engineer Carla Thompson supervised the installation of the last weapon system. The gravity mines were invisible traps floating in space. When an enemy ship came close, they would create artificial gravity fields strong enough to crush a battleship. "Deployment complete," Carla reported to Earth Command. "All mines are active and in position." The mines formed a deadly maze in the outer solar system. The aliens would have to navigate carefully to avoid them, but the humans knew exactly where each mine was located. They could use the mines to force the aliens into specific areas where other weapons waited. War Commander Zethkara stood on the bridge of his flagship. The sensor officer reported that they were approaching the outer edge of the target system. Everything looked normal. A few small planets orbited the star. Some asteroids floated in the space between worlds. "Nothing to worry about? Any signs of defensive preparations?" Zethkara asked. "None, Commander. The primitives show no awareness of our approach. Their simple sensors cannot detect us at this range." Zethkara was pleased. The conquest would be easy. His ships would destroy any resistance and claim the system for the hegemony. The primitives would be enslaved or eliminated, depending on their usefulness. He had no idea that he was flying into the most sophisticated trap in human history. Every asteroid might hide a weapon. Every empty patch of space might contain invisible mines. Every sensor reading might be false information designed to lure him into position. The alien fleet continued its approach, confident in their superior technology and firepower. They had conquered dozens of worlds using the same tactics. Arrive with overwhelming force, destroy all resistance, claim the prize. This time would be different. This time the prey had teeth. This time the hunters had become the hunted. In 6 months, one of the greatest battles in galactic history would begin. Only one species would survive. The alien fleet approached Mars exactly as human intelligence had predicted. War Commander Zethkara felt satisfied as his sensors detected a small human vessel near the red planet. The ship was broadcasting surrender signals on all frequencies. "They give up before we even fire a shot," Zethkara told his officers. "These primitives are even weaker than our reports suggested." The human ship appeared to be a simple colony transport. Its hull was old and patched in several places. The ship drifted helplessly with its engines shut down. A perfect target for the hegemony fleet. Captain Jerry Lewis sat on the bridge of his ship, the Trojan Horse. His vessel looked like an old cargo hauler on the outside. Inside, it bristled with the most advanced weapons humanity had ever built. Jerry watched the alien ships approach on his hidden sensors. "They are taking the bait," Jerry reported to the fleet commander. "All 12 ships are moving into attack formation. They will be in range in 10 minutes. Commander Sophie Martinez received Jerry's message aboard her flagship. The stealth fleet had been waiting in position for 2 days. 50 ships hung invisible in the space around Mars. The aliens could not see them coming. "All ships prepare for attack," Sophie broadcast on the encrypted channel. "Remember, we only get one chance. Make every shot count." The weapons platforms hidden inside Mars's moons Phobos and Deimos powered up their systems. Engineer Carla Thompson watched from her control center on Phobos as the massive antimatter cannons charged to full power. "Target locks acquired," Carla reported. all weapons ready to fire. The antimatter cannons were the most powerful weapons humanity had ever built. Each shot contained enough energy to vaporize a mountain. The aliens were about to learn what human engineering could accomplish when pushed to its limits. Dr. Ben Parker monitored the battle from Luna Command. His screen showed the positions of all human forces. The trap was perfect. The aliens had no idea what was about to hit them. Nanomachine deployment systems are online, Ben reported, ready to release on command. Hidden among the space debris around Mars were thousands of small containers. Each one held billions of nanomachines designed to consume alien technology. The containers looked like ordinary space junk. The aliens would never suspect the danger until it was too late. War Commander Zethkara ordered his fleet to prepare for the destruction of the human ship. It would be a simple matter to vaporize the vessel and continue toward Earth. The conquest was proceeding exactly as planned. "Fire when ready," Zethkara commanded. At that moment, Commander Sophie Martinez gave the attack order. "All units, execute Operation Last Stand. Fire at will." The space around Mars exploded into violence. The stealth ships decloaked simultaneously, their quantum torpedoes already flying toward the alien fleet. The weapons platforms on Phobos and Deimos opened fire with their antimatter cannons. Railguns hidden throughout the asteroid belt launched their projectiles at incredible speeds. The first alien ship died before its crew realized they were under attack. 3 quantum torpedoes struck its hull at the same instant. The ship's shields flared and collapsed. The vessel broke apart in a ball of superheated plasma. Captain Jerry Lewis dropped his ship's disguise and opened fire with everything he had. The Trojan horse revealed its true nature as a heavily armed battleship. Its weapons tore into the nearest alien vessel. War Commander Zethkara watched his fleet dying around him. His tactical display showed human ships appearing from nowhere. Weapons fired from positions his sensors had shown as empty space. The primitives had set a trap that his advanced technology had completely missed. "Return fire!" Zethkara screamed. "Destroy them all!" But it was too late. The human attack had been perfectly coordinated. The aliens had no time to organize a defense. Their ships were dying faster than they could respond. Engineer Carla Thompson watched her railgun projectiles streak across space. The 10-ton slugs moved at 15% of light speed. When they hit the alien ships, the kinetic energy release was equivalent to nuclear explosions. Alien shields designed to stop energy weapons were useless against pure kinetic force. "Direct hits on targets 7 and 9, Carla reported. "Both ships are breaking apart." The nanomachine swarms reached their targets. The microscopic machines began eating through alien hulls like acid through paper. As they consumed the ships, they replicated themselves using the alien materials. Soon, billions of nanomachines were crawling through every alien vessel. Dr. Rachel Stone monitored the nanomachine deployment from her laboratory. The tiny machines were working perfectly. They consumed everything they touched while sending detailed information about alien technology back to human computers. "The swarms are inside their computer systems," Rachel reported. "We are getting complete technical readouts on their weapons and shields." The information was invaluable. Human computers analyzed the alien technology in real time and sent updates to the attacking ships. Every weakness in alien defenses was immediately exploited. Sub-Commander Vexthari commanded the alien ship farthest from Mars. He watched in horror as 11 of the 12 hegemony vessels were destroyed in less than an hour. The primitive species had revealed technology that matched or exceeded their own. "Full retreat," Vexthari ordered. "Emergency jump to hyperspace." But the humans had planned for this too. The gravity mines activated as his ship tried to escape. Artificial gravity fields grabbed the alien vessel and held it in place. The ship's engines screamed as they fought against the invisible trap. Captain Frank Ellis led the pursuit squadron aboard his ship, the Relentless. His orders were simple: let no alien ship escape. The galaxy must never learn that humanity could be defeated. "Target their engines," Frank commanded. "Disable them, but keep them alive. We need prisoners for interrogation." The last alien ship fought desperately to escape. Its weapons lashed out at the pursuing human ships. But it was outnumbered 50-1. The battle's outcome was never. In doubt, Commander Sophie Martinez watched the final alien ship's shields collapse under concentrated fire. The vessel went dark as its power systems failed. The battle was over. "All ships, report status," Sophie ordered. The reports came in quickly. The human fleet had suffered minimal damage. All 50 stealth ships were intact. The weapons platforms were ready for another attack. The railguns were RELOAD and G. In less than 2 hours, humanity had destroyed the most powerful alien fleet in known space. The species that had conquered 47 worlds had been annihilated by the primitives they came to enslave. War Commander Zethkara died when his ship's bridge was vaporized by a direct hit from an antimatter cannon. His last thought was disbelief that the primitive species had defeated the mighty hegemony. The humans had struck first, and struck hard. Now they had to prepare for what would come next. The galaxy would learn that Earth was not defenseless. The message would spread to every alien world. Humanity was not prey. They were predators. Sub-Commander Vexthari stared at his ship's damage reports. His vessel was the only survivor of the hegemony fleet. 11 ships had been destroyed in less than 2 hours. The primitive humans had weapons that his people had never imagined possible. "Engine status?" Vexthari asked his chief engineer. 40% power, Commander. We can reach escape velocity, but barely." Vexthari made his decision. He had to reach hyperspace and warn the hegemony homeworld. The humans were not the primitive species the scouts had reported. They were a dangerous enemy that could threaten the entire hegemony empire. "Set course for the outer system," Vexthari ordered. "Maximum burn? We must reach minimum safe distance for hyperspace jump." His ship limped away from Mars, trailing plasma from its damaged engines. The human fleet followed at a safe distance. They wanted him to think he might escape. Captain Frank Ellis commanded the pursuit squadron from his ship, the Relentless. His orders were clear: no alien ship could be allowed to escape. The element of surprise was humanity's greatest advantage. If the aliens learned what Earth could do, they would return with a much larger fleet. "Maintain distance," Frank ordered his pilots. "Let them think they are getting away. We will close the trap when they reach the jump point." Dr. Rachel Stone monitored the chase from Earth Command. Her nanomachina swarms had infected the fleeing alien ship. The microscopic machines were sending back detailed information about the vessel systems and crew. "The nanobots have reached their main computer," Rachel reported. "We are downloading their entire database. Navigation charts, military codes, fleet positions, everything." The information was beyond valuable. Humanity was learning the locations of every hegemony world and military base. They were gaining access to alien military plans and communication codes. The fleeing ship was giving them the keys to the entire enemy empire. Lieutenant Colonel Amy Green piloted the experimental interceptor Quantum Arrow. Her ship was the fastest vessel in the human fleet. It could manipulate spacetime itself to achieve incredible speeds. "Amy, you are cleared for intercept," Frank radioed. "Use any means necessary to stop that ship." Amy pushed her ship's experimental engines to maximum power. The Quantum Arrow bent space around itself, creating a shortcut through normal physics. She appeared directly in front of the fleeing alien vessel. "Surrender or be destroyed." Amy broadcast on all frequencies. Vexthari saw the human ship materialize out of nowhere. The primitive technology could manipulate spacetime like the most advanced hegemony science vessels. How was this possible? "Fire all weapons," Vexthari ordered. "Clear us a path to the jump point." The alien ship's energy beams lashed out at the Quantum Arrow. Amy twisted her ship through impossible maneuvers, the experimental engines allowing her to dodge attacks that should have been unavoidable. "Return fire," Amy ordered her weapons. "Officer, the Quantum Arrow's weapons were based on captured alien technology improved by human engineering." The beams that struck, Vexthari's ship were more powerful than anything the hegemony had ever built. Engineer Paul Martinez watched the battle from his monitoring station. The alien ship was tough, but it was fighting the entire human fleet. Every weapon humanity had developed was being used against this single target. Nanomachine concentration has reached critical mass, Paul reported. The swarms are consuming their life support systems. The nanomachines had spread throughout the alien ship. They were eating the vessel from the inside out. Hull plating, computer systems, weapons, everything was being converted into more nanomachines. Vexthari felt his ship shudder as internal systems began failing. The artificial gravity flickered on and off. The air recycling systems went offline. Something was consuming his ship piece by piece. Emergency life support only, he ordered. All power to engines. We must reach the jump point, but it was too late. The nanomachines had consumed the ship's main power conduits. The engines sputtered and died. The vessel drifted helplessly in space. Captain Frank Ellis brought the Relentless alongside the dying alien ship. His boarding teams were ready to secure any survivors. Humanity needed prisoners to interrogate about hegemony technology and military plans. Boarding teams, go, Frank ordered. The human soldiers cut through the alien hull with plasma torches. They entered the ship wearing full environmental suits. The nanomachines had consumed most of the vessel's atmosphere. Vexthari made his final decision. He would not be captured by the primitives. He activated his ship's self-destruct system. Better to die with honor than face interrogation by an inferior species. The explosion was small. The nanomachines had consumed most of the ship's explosive materials. Vexthari died believing he had denied the humans their prize. He was wrong. The nanomachines had already transmitted everything of value back to human computers. Ship designs, weapon specifications, star charts, military codes, everything was now in human hands. Dr. Ben Parker reviewed the captured data from Luna Command. The information was overwhelming. The hegemony controlled over 200 worlds. Their military had thousands of ships. Earth was facing an empire that spanned half the galaxy. This is just the beginning, Ben told Admiral Garcia. When the hegemony realizes their fleet is missing, they will send a much larger force. Admiral Garcia nodded grimly. Then we need to be ready for them. How long do we have? The aliens were supposed to report in every 30 days. When they miss their next check-in, the hegemony will investigate. I estimate we have 3 months before they discover what happened here. 3 months to prepare for war against the Galactic Empire. It seemed impossible, but humanity had already done the impossible. They had destroyed an alien fleet that should have been invincible. Commander Sophie Martinez addressed the assembled fleet commanders. The stealth ships had performed perfectly in battle. Not a single human vessel had been lost. The aliens underestimated us once, Sophie said. They will not make that mistake again. The next fleet will be prepared for our weapons and tactics. The humans began planning their next moves. The element of surprise was gone, but they had gained something more valuable, alien technology and intelligence about enemy capabilities. Engineer Carla Thompson supervised the recovery of alien wreckage. Every piece of debris was valuable. Human scientists would study the remains and develop new weapons based on alien designs. The energy shield technology is fascinating, Carla reported. We can adapt it to protect our own ships. Captain Jerry Lewis commanded the salvage operations. His ship, the Trojan Horse, collected fragments of alien armor and weapons systems. Human engineers would reverse engineer everything they found. The battle near Mars was over, but the war was just beginning. Humanity had announced itself to the galaxy as a species that would fight for survival. The aliens had come to conquer Earth and found themselves facing extinction instead. The message was clear. Humans would not go quietly into the night. They would fight with everything they had. They would use any weapon, any tactic, any technology. To protect their world, the galaxy was about to learn why humanity had survived and thrived on a dangerous planet. They were not just intelligent, they were not just creative. They were predators who had climbed to the top of their world's food. Chained through violence and cunning, now they were taking those skills to the stars. 6 months had passed since the battle near Mars. The wreckage of the alien fleet had been completely salvaged and studied. Human scientists worked around the clock to understand and improve the captured technology. Dr. Kevin Thompson led the largest research project in human history. Teams of engineers on Earth, Luna, Mars, and dozens of space stations collaborated to reverse engineer alien technology. The results exceeded everyone's expectations. We have successfully integrated their shield technology with our own, Kevin reported to the Solar Defense Council. Our new ships are 50% stronger than the original alien vessels. The humans had not just copied alien technology. They had improved it. Human creativity combined with alien science produced weapons and defenses that neither species could have developed alone. Admiral Susan Clark stood on the bridge of humanity's newest warship. The vessel was called Defiance, and it represented everything humans had learned from their first contact with aliens. The ship's hull was made from alien materials strengthened with human alloys. Its weapons combined human ingenuity with alien power sources. Ship status report, Susan ordered. "All systems operational," reported her chief engineer. "Engines are running at 110% of design capacity. Weapons are charged and ready. Shields are at maximum strength." The Defiance was not alone. Human shipyards had been working non-stop to build a fleet capable of interstellar warfare. 50 new ships floated in formation around Earth. Each one was a hybrid of human and alien technology. President Jonathan Hayes addressed the United Earth Assembly from the Capitol building in Geneva. Representatives from every human colony and space station listened as their leader announced humanity's new policy toward alien contact. "The hegemony came to destroy us," President Hayes said. "They believed we were weak and defenseless. They learned the cost of that mistake. Now we will teach that lesson to anyone else who threatens our world." The Assembly voted unanimously to approve Operation Deep Strike. Humanity would not wait for the next alien attack. They would carry the fight to enemy territory. The species that had barely reached their own moon 50 years earlier was now preparing for interstellar war. Navigator Chris Robinson plotted the course for humanity's first interstellar expedition. The captured alien data had provided detailed star charts showing the location of every hegemony world. The humans would strike at the heart of the alien empire. "Course laid in for the hegemony border systems," Chris reported. "Travel time at maximum speed, 43 days. The human fleet would use captured alien faster-than-light technology to reach enemy space. But their ships were faster than the original alien vessels. Human improvements to the hyperspace drives allowed speeds the hegemony had never achieved. Dr. Rachel Stone supervised the loading of humanity's most terrible weapons onto the attack fleet. The nanomushni swarms had been improved using alien technology. The new versions could replicate faster and consume more types of material. "Each missile carries 10 billion nanomachines," Rachel reported. "Once deployed, they will consume entire planets if not stopped." The humans had learned from alien cruelty. The hegemony had destroyed 47 worlds without mercy. Humanity would show them the same consideration they had shown to their victims. Engineer Carla Thompson commanded the weapons platforms that would guard Earth while the fleet was away. The rail guns had been upgraded with alien power sources. The antimatter cannons could now fire continuously instead of requiring long recharge times. "Home defenses ready," Carla reported. "If any aliens approach Earth while our fleet is gone, they will face twice the firepower that destroyed the first invasion." The humans had learned not to put all their strength in one place. Half the fleet would attack enemy worlds while the other half protected human space. Earth would never again be vulnerable to alien attack. War Premier Keth Morin of the Hegemony High Command reviewed the reports from the outer frontier. The Conquest fleet sent to claim the third planet had missed 3 scheduled check-ins. Something had gone wrong. "Send a reconnaissance squadron to investigate," Keth Morin ordered. "Find out what happened to War Commander Zethkara S. fleet." The hegemony had ruled the galaxy for 2,000 years. No primitive species had ever successfully resisted their conquest fleets. The idea that the humans might have fought back never occurred to the alien leadership. Admiral Susan Clark gave the order that would change galactic history forever. All ships jumped to hyperspace. Operation Deep Strike is now active. 50 human warships disappeared into hyperspace, carrying with them the combined fury of an entire species. They were no longer the hunted. They had become the hunters. The journey to hegemony space took 6 weeks. The human fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Kethver system, home to 12 billion aliens and the site of a major military shipyard. Target acquisition complete, reported the weapons officer aboard the Defiance. All enemy installations identified and locked. Admiral Susan Clark broadcast humanity's first message to the galaxy on all frequencies. Her words would be heard on every inhabited world within 50 light-years. We are human. We come from the third planet of the star you call Sol. Your hegemony sent 12 ships to conquer our world. All 12 ships have been destroyed. Their crews are dead. Now we have come to return the favor. The message continued broadcasting as the human fleet attacked. The hegemony ships in the system were caught completely off guard. They had never faced human weapons before. Their shields and armor were useless against the hybrid technology the humans had developed. The battle lasted 4 hours. When it was over, every hegemony military installation in the system had been destroyed. The human fleet had suffered no losses. Captain Jerry Lewis commanded the ground assault forces. Human soldiers landed on the main world and captured the planetary government. The aliens surrendered quickly when they realized resistance was futile. Broadcast the message to all hegemony worlds, Admiral Clark ordered. The message was simple, but terrifying to alien ears. We are human. We do not surrender. We do not negotiate with those who come to destroy us. We struck first, and we will strike last. Come if you dare, but know that we are waiting. The human fleet disappeared back into hyperspace, leaving behind a broken world and a clear message. Humanity was no longer hiding on one small planet. They were coming for anyone who threatened their existence. News of the attack spread through hegemony space faster than light. Panic seized the alien empire as world after world realized they were now targets. The primitives had become predators. Overnight, back on Earth, the planet's population celebrated their species' first interstellar victory. Children who had grown up fearing alien invasion now dreamed of exploring the galaxy as conquerors themselves. The transformation was complete. Humanity had evolved from a planetary species to a galactic power in less than 1 year. They had learned to fight among the stars, and they had learned to win. The galaxy would never be the same. A new apex predator had emerged from the small blue world in the Sol system. They called themselves human, and they had come to stay. The age of human expansion had begun.